this cannot be real, but it is. So a roofing convention brings Wes Watson on. I would love to know the name of this organization. I would love to know the person responsible for not doing their due diligence and fact checking and doing some research, or maybe they know exactly who Wes Watson is and they know exactly what he's accused of doing, and they brought him on anyways. In which case, what a bad look for your roofers organization. What's going on, everyone? Christian Duke, Strength Addicts on all social media platforms, powered by IronMag Labs. Make your mark with IML. Visit ironmaglabs.com today. But really, though, folks, you got to ask yourself, here you have a guy who's gone viral for a gym fight that wasn't a one-on-one, where weapons were used, that involved a special needs man, and he's addressing a roofers convention. I mean, what is this? How is this possible? And this appearance that he made is very similar to the appearance that he made that got him in so much trouble, that caught the attention of John Bravo Films, caught the attention of Baller Busters, caught my attention, and so many other outlets, because he basically humiliated his co-panelists because they weren't as jacked as he was, because they weren't tatted up, because they didn't meet his criteria of an alpha male. So he goes on to just belittle them. And that's exactly what he does on this stage for this roofers convention. I mean, you've got a guy that's facing felony assault and battery, and you bring him to your convention. That's who you want to address your members. Like, I really want to know what organization brought this guy on there, because it doesn't make any sense. I mean, like, honestly, what is the name of this roofing? I'm not saying that I'm going to sound off on, well, I actually am going to sound off on them. Let me take that back. Let me walk that back. I'm actually going to go off on them, because it's almost as if, I just don't understand. If I was a roofer and I was paying money to be a member of an organization, and I go to our annual convention, and some guy that beat on a special needs man with his buddies at a gym with dumbbells and weight training belts, kicked the guy in the head 8 times, punched him 50 times in the head, all the while he's on his knees screaming for help, I wouldn't want that person addressing my organization. Something tells me that whoever brought him on was either a fanboy, somebody that bought his program, somebody getting a break on his program, or somebody that's just an absolute idiot. So honestly, it's just one of those things. And what a bad look for your organization. It's not just me that wants to know. A lot of people are going to want to know who brought this guy on. I mean, it's just, it's just mind-boggling to me. It's absolutely mind-boggling to me. And what's even more mind-boggling to me is that he's not changing his MO at all. It's the same Wes Watson as always. Belittling people, shouting people, intimidating people. He is facing serious charges. He can go to prison very easily. When the judge sees his jacket, when the prosecutors bring that up in court, if he's dumb enough to take the stand, if he's dumb enough not to plead it out, if he's dumb enough to go all the way to court and go all the way to the conclusion, whether it's a bench trial or a jury trial, he's going to go to prison. The only way this guy doesn't do hard time is if he pleads guilty and gets a great deal. But so far, I mean, he's making videos where he's the same Wes Watson as always. He's more concerned about his height or lack thereof. And he's doing the same crap at this roofers convention that he's done all along. People, they laugh because they don't know what to make of it. What's up, Detroit? The D, Jeff Guns, what's going on? J4321, what's going on? Now, somebody in the audience laughs, and he says, "Don't you laugh." Now, it would have been interesting if the person in the audience laughed and said, "I'll laugh if I want to laugh. You're at our organization. This is our convention. We're staying upstairs in the hotel. We put this whole thing together. You're here as our guest. If we want to laugh, we're going to laugh. If somebody had said that to Wes, it would have been on. And he would have been arrested. And he probably would have gotten his ass kicked, because we know that he can't fight. Because if he could fight, he would have fought one-on-one with a 7-foot tall guy who wasn't 7 feet tall, because he's not 6 feet tall. But he would have gotten himself in trouble. And guess what? On video. Again. Now, somebody said it'd be funny if somebody rolled up to his gym and measured him. That would be very funny. Because he's not 6 feet tall. He's 5'8". He's not 258. He's 238. It makes him angry that he got outed. But people don't make mistakes like that in jail. And like John Bravo said, they probably pulled it from his driver's license. The height, at least. The weight, who knows? My driver's license doesn't have weight, but maybe his does. I don't know. But we're talking about some pretty major differences here. 20 pounds is 20 pounds. And he's not a fatty. He's ripped. He's shredded. 20 pounds of muscle. You don't miss something like that. Somebody at 5'8", that's 230, versus someone that's, well, I guess someone that's 238, right? Compared to someone that's 258, that's 20 pounds of muscle difference. When you don't have a lot of body fat, that's a huge difference. That's like two people that don't look anything alike. And he expects us to believe that the sheriffs would make a mistake that huge. I mean, that's huge. That's like Craig Goliath huge. That's a huge mistake. That's a 9K mistake. But really, though, folks, sheriffs don't make mistakes like that. They have to know what someone looks like, especially in jail. They don't have time to go look at the file. A police officer is pretty much a video camera in the sense that their recollection is ironclad. They can tell you what someone more or less height-wise was, weight-wise was, what kind of clothes they were wearing, how fast they were running, in what direction they were running. These things are very important. And a lot of times, they don't have time to write this stuff down. It's lodged in their head. That's why they're in law enforcement. And Wes Watson expects us to believe that a sheriff was wrong by his weight by 20 pounds, wrong by his height by 4 inches. Are you crazy? That's what he's worried about, though. But he also doesn't like it when people laugh, because he takes it as disrespect. He's at a convention addressing people purportedly as a motivational speaker, and he's insulting them, he's degrading them, and he's trying to intimidate them. They can't even laugh. It's very much a captive audience. He's lucky that nobody told him to go F himself. That's their convention. But I want to know what kind of an organization is going to bring Wes Watson on while he is facing felony assault and battery for beating up a special needs man. I want to know what kind of an organization either is so stupid that they don't know what this guy's all about, or knows what he's all about, brought him on anyways so he could speak to an audience full of people. It's a horrible look for your roofers organization. It's a horrible look for any organization. Now, one thing that is very interesting, though, John Bravo Films pointing out that his views are tanking. I mean, tanking. He's losing money on YouTube. Less and less people are watching him. And he's not changing. And I'm going to bet you money. Well, I'm not going to bet you money because I don't bet money. But I'm going to bet you, just to bet you, that he's probably a nightmare of a client. I bet you he doesn't listen to his lawyer. I bet you his lawyer has told him, tone it down. Don't talk about the case. Don't talk about allegations. Try not to be a thug. Try not to be a goon. Try not to make yourself hated. And he's ignoring all of it. He's more concerned with people believing that he's 6 feet tall and 250 plus pounds, more concerned with people not laughing at him when he's presenting on stage than he is a felony battery, a felony assault case. He's going to wind up back in prison. It's all but a foregone conclusion. He's not going to take a plea deal. I don't think. He'd be a smart person to do it. I'm sure his lawyer has told him. I mean, listen, his lawyer can talk about stand your ground. He can talk about self-defense. He can talk about mutual combat. He could talk about the rising price of rice in China. At the end of the day, you can't cross-examine a video. The video shows what the video shows. It shows Wes and his Confederates beating on a special needs man that everybody knew was special needs. Everybody. Jim's staff said it. As soon as he walked in, they knew there was something wrong with the guy. I mean, it's just, I just don't understand. What kind of an organization is going to bring someone on like that? I want to know, and I have a feeling we're going to know. Did you see his pathetic attempt at Father of the Year? Did you see his pathetic? I didn't realize he had children. Dude can't fight at all, says Jeff Guns. No, he can't. I mean, if he would have fought, he'd have fought one-on-one. He wouldn't have used a weight belt, and he wouldn't have used the help of his friends to get the guy on the floor. Because listen, he's a big tough guy when the guy's on his knees, blinded because they jammed his eyes and kicking him above the head. He never went head-to-head with this guy. And you can tell at CVS or Walgreens or Save-A-Lot, wherever the hell he was, with the guy that was admiring his Lambo, he kept walking away, and he was talking shit as he was walking away. All 5'8" of him, because he wasn't there with his buddies. And the guy wasn't even threatening him. The guy was just asking him about his stupid car. Listen, folks, I'm going to tell you something. It is some babe. He has taken it in along with the kids. Oh, he's dating a mom with kids. Oh, maybe so. I don't know. Bottom line, though, folks, there's got to be something wrong with you if you are in charge of a roofers organization or any organization and you bring Wes Watson on, where every bodybuilding channel, World Star, TMZ, I mean, everybody's talking about this guy beating on a special needs man. You bring him on to your roofers convention. You think that is a motivational speaker worthy of your time? He has hired an image consultant, I bet. Well, then, the image consultant is probably as, just insane as his lawyer is. Does anybody think that he listens to his lawyer? His lawyer is probably pulling his hair out right now. I don't care what he's paying him. He's probably an absolute nightmare to work with as a client. And that's assuming that he's paid him. He might have given the guy the retainer, but who knows if he can actually pay him. Because let me tell you something. I've worked with a lot of people in the bodybuilding world. I say work with loosely, more so know them, have done interviews with them, that sort of thing. And a lot of them are couch surfing. They rent the cars, they rent the houses. They get the clothes secondhand use, whatever. There's a lot of fakers, guys. There's a lot of fakers faking until they make it. I don't know. Wes, I don't think owns the homes that he has. I don't think he owns those cars. Who knows? But even if he did pay the lawyer, if the lawyer was smart, he got a fat retainer up front before starting anything so he could work against it if he's smart. Who knows? The lawyer might be as dumb as he is. I don't know. I would never work with Wes Watson unless I had the retainer for him would have to be, well, see, I'm in Kentucky, so in Florida, right there, it's going to be more money because everything's more money in Florida. But I would imagine I'd want at least a good $25,000. I'm not kidding. At least $25,000, if not $50,000. And what I don't earn, what I don't make, I would give back. I'd put it in trust. But I would not take him on as a client unless I knew for a fact I was going to get paid. Because, a lot of these guys, honestly, his attorney is Gottlieb. I don't know who that is. I hope he got a good retainer up front, and I hope that he gets paid for his work, and I hope that he doesn't end up pulling his hair out, because Wes Watson, in my opinion, would be a nightmare client. I would never want a client like Wes Watson. He wouldn't listen to me. He would get himself in more trouble. He's probably going to get his bond revoked. I'm telling you. More than likely, he's going to get his bond revoked because he's an idiot. The CVS thing happened after the Elevation Fitness thing happens. I'm not sponsored by these people, by Alani Nu, but this is really good. I'm just saying, if somebody in the audience said, I'll laugh if I want to, this is my convention, I worked my ass off all year, I paid dues, I got rooms at the host hotel, this is our convention, I'll laugh if I want to, but they didn't because they were scared of the guy. They don't know what he's capable of. He's like a little chihuahua, 5'8" chihuahua. Hopefully somebody will find out the name of this roofing organization. I am dying to know why they brought Wes Watson on. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like a recipe for a black eye for your organization. You have brought on a guy who has gone viral for beating up a special needs man at a gym on video. I mean, like, why would you do that to your organization? I want to know the name of this roofing organization. I want to ask them, why would you bring this guy on there? Why would you do this? That's like punching yourself in the head. That's like punching yourself over and over. It's like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. It just makes no sense. It makes zero sense. Zero.